Hey Jessica, hi Brianna.
Hey, she's, I think, popped off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm here. Hi.
It's just,
I'm just doing a quick reminder in Spruce.
see who else comes on.
I'm gonna do a quick reminder.
Do you guys know where there's compensation plan videos in Spanish? No. It doesn't be readily available, but
Maybe Ana Cardenas or Susana Armstrong have something in Spanish.
yeah, I'll ask them. That should just be something that's just so like, sure, here you go, you know?
I know. We should have it. Even, well, you would think that corporate would have it with the Spanish, Hispanic, whatever team.
Well,
US
they don't
Hispanic.
even have English, so
Can't get the full Zoom link from the Spruce Society. No, let's see. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Diane.
Hello.
I'm just trying to
hi,
post on this
Diane.
group
Hi,
about.
Jessica.
How are you doing?
I'm moving forward.
Good. Are you coming to convention this year?
It doesn't look like it.
What?
I,
What?
I would love to, but
Are you just,
maybe we can talk about it later. Would that be okay? Yeah, I would love to, but it didn't look like it was going to work out, but we can talk about it.
is it driving? Is that the reason or
Um,
it's okay. You can talk about it later.
okay.
Okay, almost there, but you can start if you want. Um,
Were you on the call today with McKay? No, you had something else you were doing.
yeah, I had something else. What did he talk about?
Oh, I think just the normal things. He had two leaders talk about basically what people are having success with and how some people are enrolling and having success. Um the same things we know, being consistent, posting about the reset. I think it's also just constantly looking for opportunities to in your organization, looking for people. Like I just pulled a report of anybody who's enrolled in the last 6 months, enrolled anybody, and just calling them and saying that's somebody did talk about that it's calling people in your organization and just having conversations with people and seeing where they're at. And that's that's definitely something I could be better at. But I did go make a list of anybody who's in the summer school, because I'm like, all right, if they sign up for summer school, they want to do this. At least part of them wants to do this.
Mhm.
And if they signed up or have enrolled anyone in the last 6 months, at least it's in their awareness of being an enroller. So
Yeah.
especially with names I don't recognize, finding out who those people are. And then I looked through and I found out like 10 of them weren't even brand partners. They were just customers. So I'm like, all right, well, these people need to be called immediately. And one of them was on level 2 in one of my smaller legs. And I called her and left a message, and she hasn't called me back. So I don't know if I should call her again. I don't want to bug people, but it's like, hey, you obviously know how to enroll someone.
Yeah.
So is it just a one-time thing? Or are you actually interested in doing this?
Jessica, you said something about a summer school.
I remember
Is
when,
that- Can you hear me okay?
so summer school, Diane, I can. It's a group. I'll invite you. It's like a personal growth / business group. I'll invite you to it so you can see what it is.
Okay, that would be great.
It was started by Joanna Malone, who's a Royal Crown Diamond, who's under my downline, but she opened it up to a couple different crossline friends. It's mostly people that are under Melissa, who's Jessica's and upline also. But she's done this summer school project for a couple of years, and it's officially June, July, August, I think, right? I don't think it's September. June, July, August, and you do 10 events over those 3 months, whatever kind of events, in person, one-on-one, Zoom, just meeting and chatting with friends and like bringing up the business or bringing up products or whatever. So 10 events over those 3 months. You're going to do some personal growth focus. So like, where do you want to grow personally? Do you want to grow with relationships, with your health, with your business, with your whatever, relationship with, spiritually or whatever. And then there's gonna be a retreat that she's gonna share about, where we can everyone who finished the summer school project can go and hang out together. So that's pretty exciting. It's my first year participating in it, so I'm super excited to be in it and part of it. And it's going to be, I don't know, right now I think there's like 130 people in the group, but and then she's going to share soon, but it's going to be $49, and that money will go towards the money that we spend at the retreat for food and swag and stuff like that. So none of the leaders are getting paid. It's going back into investing in the participants. And so I suspect that there will be more people that are going to be interested. It's just going to be a way for anyone who wants to get a jump start on their business to stay accountable and have community and just feel like they're a part of something where everybody is growing and learning and sharing and doing it all together in a group. So if you're interested in that, then definitely talk to Jessica or Julie are in my downline, so you can talk to me or Stacy about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So many people have lost people in their upline or downline that aren't doing the business anymore. So it's nice to be in a smaller group with people that are doing the business so that you can see what they're talking about, what's working for them. Yeah, all those types of things.
So Julie signed up someone in Japan, which is super exciting.
Which Julie?
So, me, I am so
Awesome.
like always trying to find time to learn more, and now it's like, okay, I gotta figure it out. I emailed her, she emailed back, she's excited. So she said her daughter owns a yoga studio there. So I like normally the pack, like the little welcome gift that I would send, it would have cost me like $50. So I gave her a little bit of credit and it was good. She was excited. So
Uh-huh. Nice. So how did you get that enrollment?
a friend of a friend of a family member.
Oh, nice.
So I guess it's paying off, right? That people know that it took a while to see it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
then
fun.
you,
What's what city are they in?
I don't know the name of the city. She is about 700 miles south of Tokyo.
Okay. Well, if she goes up to Tokyo, tell her to stop by the
experience
Oh.
center.
The store, yeah.
thank you. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah,
So
they have classes there and they have in any experience center, if you ever get the chance to go, sometimes they have out of stock stuff and they only have like a little bit of it, so they don't put it out. And so sometimes you can get out of stock stuff, but then there's also like exclusive stuff just for that country. So like if you're ever traveling and you get a chance to go to another country's experience center, you might be able to buy like an oil or some kind of swag stuff that they have that we don't have access to here in the US. So highly recommend that, like if you're traveling and there's an experience center somewhere along the way nearby, not too far out of the way, to make the effort to go.
I was looking at some of their supplements are really interesting.
Yeah,
Darn it.
they have, we got a couple different things in our Diamond Retreat swag. So they have black ginger capsules, like it's a supplement
Yeah,
that supposedly is like really awesome for helping women with their hormones and getting rid of excess weight. They have the Bloom, they have collagen in a liquid form. So they were the
yeah.
first ones to get the collagen. And they have black seed oil, which is really, really amazing for like helping your body detox and just help like all the non-compliant anti blank, 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 like all of those words. The
Right.
black seed oil is amazing for that. So yeah, that we had, there were several people who flew to Tokyo before and after, but Dr. Ollie Winker, I don't know if you are familiar with him, he's a diamond, but he always talks about gut health, and he went with his son over to the Tokyo Experience Center afterwards, and then he showed the diamonds this picture of his suitcase unpacked. He just like dumped it on the bed, and there were so many bottles of that black ginger supplement. He bought like so many bottles because he was super excited to get access to that, because he's always talking about gut health and how the gut and the brain are synced together. And so I don't know a whole lot about the black ginger supplement, but apparently it's like good for a ton of different things. But if Dr. Ollie is buying it by the suitcase, then like for sure it's something really, really good.
That's funny. He also bought like 20 of the robes or something.
Oh yeah.
He had to go buy another huge suitcase in Japan to bring them all home.
Yeah. So that's super exciting.
It's funny.
Congratulations, Julie.
I have another gal that I enrolled. I did a vendor event, and it was the first time that I took Ninja and just put like a bar spout on it, like an alcohol spout, and took
Oh yeah.
cups. And I enrolled a gal, and she's from the Philippines, and she has family in the Philippines, and she said they're really interested in doing a business. So I'm trying to figure out all of these different markets, and it's exciting.
Wow. Cool. Well, Jessica, you have a lot of people in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, Philippines, Japan, most of the Asian countries. Um, Yeah, because it spreads. You know, it's like states. You know, it's like you sign someone up in California before you know you have somebody in Nevada, you know, or Michigan or something. Because just people tend to know each other in different countries. We had well, Leanne went out there and she was staying in Tokyo and she signed someone up at the American school there, like some of the moms, and
Mm.
one of them, she lived in Japan, but she was from Mongolia. So she enrolled her sister at home in Mongolia, and then it spread like wildfire, thousands of people in Mongolia. So it can be very exciting if you have like just somebody who, you know, one of those personalities that gets it and goes for it.
Mhm.
So that people always ask me like, how did you grow a team there? I'm like, I didn't. I just enrolled Leanne. But
Right.
like the thing is that they find somebody who lives there but knows people in other places
Mhm.
and they're bilingual. That's the biggest thing. I mean, I don't think
Oh.
Leanne speaks Japanese, but her husband does.
Mm.
But she went to the American school where people speak English, and then those people speak English and another language.
Oh, that's
So
good to-
that's kind of the key.
Mhm.
We're actually working with a new girl in Colombia. She doesn't speak English. We don't speak Spanish, but her boyfriend does. He speaks both. So he's being our translator and like trying to teach her about the compensation plan and he gets it. So as long as you have somebody who's bilingual, speaks the languages. But the problem is with that is if they drop out, then it pretty much falls apart
Mm.
because you can't
Yeah.
talk to their team because you don't speak the language.
Right.
And
Right.
we've had that happen. So, but you know, it can, you never know what's going to come from
Mhm. Do you have any
Well, I
tips
think
on growing in the Philippines specifically? With
Philippines is hard because, you know, they just don't make a lot of money there. Like a lot of, I mean, like a lot of countries, Japan, people do make money, but it's actually the slowest growing market because it's kind of hard to become a distributor. You have to like fill out this big packet,
Yeah.
where other
Mhm.
countries it's not that hard. But other countries where they don't make as much money, then they have to do like pool with each other to like create these little pools of money. Like I'll help you get your kit this month and you help me get my kit next month type of
Mm.
thing.
Mhm.
But that being said, Rachel Hamero, she grew to, I think she's a royal, either royal or crown diamond, and she lives in the Philippines. She grew her team in the Philippines. So it definitely can be done. You just really with third I don't know if Philippines is a third world country, but countries where they don't make as much money, you
Mhm.
really have to talk about the money up front, the business, because you know they're loving the products. That's the good part is a lot of these countries are very willing to you know look at our products. They're like, oh wow, natural things. They're totally all about that. That's not the problem. You know, here in our Western culture, we're like, well, what do you mean? Is it drugs? You know, like no. So they're very receptive to that. Then they're like, oh, I can't afford it. It's so expensive. So then you have to go in right in the same class. You talk about the product, and then you talk about the business opportunity. Here's this amazing product. Here's why you're going to love it. Here's what it does. Da, 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 da. And here's how you can afford it. Sign up to become a brand partner and then share it with your friends, and then you can get your order paid for. So whereas in the States, we don't generally do that, talk about the business in the initial class, but that's something that they have to do because it's like people go like, I can't afford it. So here's how you can afford it. Yeah. And then just teaching people about how to share on socials and with their friends and all the things.
Cool. That's helpful.
All the
I think
better.
that
I know that's, I mean, not easy.
that practice of pulling your money together and each person gets a kid at a time, that's very common in Mexico. I have family in Mexico, but what's exciting to me about these other cultures is they're much more receptive to like sort of, you know, holistic or alternative medicine than we are here.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Asia, Latin America, even Europe now. I think I heard recently that Europe's the fastest growing market now. So that's not anymore. That was a little while ago, but yeah, we're the ones who are kind of I don't know. gotta people to be more naturally minded. I was just looking at an Airbnb for convention and they were like showing their cabinets and how they're full of Tide and
No, no.
Mrs. Myers.
Oops, we lost Jessica. Yeah, all the crap.
They love it.
Yeah.
The first year at convention, I left a sample of Thieves and a bottle at the Airbnb we stayed at.
Oh, nice. Did you ever hear back from
Nothing
them?
happened, but I thought it won't hurt. No.
Mm. That's a good idea though. Or contacting the owner after and then sending it directly
Yeah,
to them.
I had just started. I was not. I don't know.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
Make myself uncomfortable.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. I live in the hills.
It's okay. It's okay. We're glad you're here. Okay. Any other things exciting and new or questions?
I do have a question. I know I've heard a little bit that there are some problems on the Young Living side. And I think I've heard correctly, but you can let me know if I'm wrong. And I'm kind of experiencing a little bit of that myself. Is there is there a chance that maybe that will be corrected, or that things will, work a little better?
What kind of problems are you experiencing?
I can't tell you right now exactly what they were. So that's not being very helpful.
I know that there were shipping issues, shipping delays, and they've increased the times and days that they have people working, and they added another warehouse. So people are experiencing shorter shipping times, so that's better.
Mhm.
I'm not exactly sure what other problems.
Have any of you had any challenges when you're on the site and kind of navigating around? Have any of you had challenges?
I mean, when I try and sign in, I have to sometimes sign in a couple times. Yeah, so IT is definitely looking at that and they are aware of it. And then sometimes when I sign in, I click sign in and then it doesn't do anything and then I have to click back and then I have to like do that whole process again. And then it lets me get in. So yeah, it's a little glitchy, but they are aware there's a sort of newer IT director person named Bruce Arnett, who is in the RCD WhatsApp chat that's very active and very proactive. And so it's the first time that the RCDs have had access to someone in IT to report the problems. So I'm really hopeful that he's gonna figure things out and he's got some Zooms scheduled with us and his IT team to discuss some ongoing things that have been happening that are not acceptable, that should be improved. So they're always, the good thing is, yes, there might be issues, but the good thing is they're always open and receptive. And I feel like this is the first time that we've had access to the IT department head and team to actually report stuff and get feedback to him. So I'm hopeful that that means we're going to make some bigger, faster progress than in the past.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
I think you're on mute, Jessica. I can't hear you.
oh, weird. Diane, you could talk to Nathan about that because he's
I'm
with
sorry.
IT guy a lot.
You're breaking up. Okay, go
I
ahead.
said you can talk to Nathan.
Yeah,
You can talk to Nathan about that because he's
I-
working.
I did talk to him. He was a little discouraged when he talked to me. Maybe it was just a hard day he'd had or something. I don't know, but um,
I think
So-
he
Was that
actually
recently?
yeah, I think
yeah,
he's
it was
actually
in
been
the last
having,
week or so, week or
Okay.
10 days. Uh-huh.
so I think in that time, Bruce has set up some Zoom calls. I think they're happening this week, Wednesday and Thursday or something like that. So I think Nathan has been an integral part of Bruce setting up these Zooms because Nathan's super tech savvy, I feel like, and he's able to kind of convey to Bruce what the issues are and how it's affecting us. So all of us. So hopefully our meetings with him this week will be.
So you're talking about Nathan Petty?
Yeah, you're Nathan. Yep.
Okay, okay, all right. That's the same one I talked to. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And that I'm not going to spend any more time thinking about it or worrying about it at
Okay.
this point. But I just thought I'd bring it up, and it sounds like they're kind of tackling the problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, my phone is about to die. I can make Carol the host, or we can just say call it a day.
Be the host. We've got 2 new people on the call, so I can just answer whatever questions they might have.
Yeah, let me see if I
in
can
the
switch that
call.
over.
You don't have a charger in your phone?
I have a chart. I'm in my car. Well, I'm in Nathan's car, and there is one here, but it's not working very well. But let me just make it the host just in case.
Okay.
Wait, on my phone. Oh.
Yes, this chat's for anyone. So this calls for anyone. So if you have questions, business questions, if you've got an issue, a challenge, if you're stuck somewhere, this is the place to come and we will chat it out and figure things out. So feel free to, if you want to type in what's going on, or if you want to come off mute, you can ask your questions. And we are happy to kind of brainstorm through it. If you have specific questions about business stuff, we're here to help answer them as well. Usually we kind of have a topic to have a framework of what we're doing, but today we just decided to kind of have it be an open Q&A kind of forum. So hi Denise, hi Taylor. If you ladies have any questions or issues or anything, feel free to jump in.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just joined, so I don't know if this is on topic. I apologize if it's not. You just posted in the health plans group about the email that you are sending out. Is that something that we can utilize? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
The reason I'm sharing it in there is because I want you to use it and edit it to make it sound like you and contact as many people as you can.
Beautifully done. Thank you for that resource.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, so I sent out a bunch of emails to chiropractors and acupuncturists around me. Some of them I knew already. So I've already had a meeting with a local chiropractor or local acupuncturist center. So she has acupuncturists, chiropractors, naturopaths, midwives, all in the same center. And so she took my hypnobirthing classes years ago. She had been on my team right in the beginning, and then things kind of petered out for her and her couple of her acupuncturists that had started initially. So I reached out to her. I didn't even think of reaching out to her, right? But then something on Facebook popped up with her and I was like, oh yeah, like I need to contact her. And then I messaged her. So that email script is in the Young Living Health Plans Facebook group, Taylor. And so I contacted her. I just like messaged her and said like, hey, you know, whatever, catching up. And then like, hey, did you know that Young Living has health plans and they have a holistic plan that, you know, will give your patients $175 back? And she's like, what? And so then she and I chatted, just her and I on the phone a couple days, maybe last week sometime. And then she said, well, let me get my partner, who's a partner in the acupuncture center, on a call. So I met with both of them this morning. So the main one, the main owner is familiar with health shares. And she was like, this is amazing. Right now, her and her two kids, they're paying, I think, $1,100 for an HMO. And then she did the math, she got the quote, and they'll be paying like $700. And so they're in California here. And so she already worked out like what the fine would be because we don't meet the ACA requirements for having a health insurance. And she still said like the math works. Like it's 900 for an adult and 400 for each child. And she said, you know, the amount that we're saving overall just from the health plan versus paying the premium. And if they pay the fine, then they still are winning, right? And that doesn't even include the $75 back that they're going to get from their Young Living supplements and oils, or the acupuncture, chiropractic, IV drips, like all those things on top of it. So she was super stoked. The other person has an HMO through the government, through her husband who works for the government. So she was more skeptical, and she was just like, I don't really understand this whole health share thing. So I just used the content from the slides of like what a health share is versus traditional health share, right? Like everything is in the PowerPoint presentation that is in the health plan group. And the more you kind of familiarize yourself with that PowerPoint, the easier it will be for you to just speak using that PowerPoint. So, you know, nonprofit versus for profit. And then she still was kind of like, I don't really want to like sell health insurance. Like that's weird. And I was like, yeah, it is weird, but we're not selling health insurance. We're helping people get access to better health services. And whether or not they want the ClearShare health share part, you can just promote the holistic plan, right? Holistic plan, you can be on it with whatever pre-existing conditions you have, right? There's no pre-existing condition exclusions for the holistic plan. And then they're getting their Young Living supplements and oils. And so, you know, I was showing her like, here's your menu of services of what you offer. And the fee for like an ongoing acupuncture visit is this much, but like that's not $175. So like you could add on something. They have Reiki, they have cupping, they have gua sha that they can like add on, right? And so I was like, you can add those things on, and your patients who normally might be like, oh, like it's already kind of, you know, like $100, I'm already paying you. Like, I don't want to add on like another like 40 or 75, right? Times are tough. Groceries, gas, like all the things cost way more. And so I was telling her, like, you get all those things added on, but they're gonna know they're gonna get $175 back. They're ending up paying 35, but they're gonna get so much of that back, which puts more money in their pocket, whether it's going to groceries, gas, or it's going to being able to see you more often. So not only is it a win that the patient is going to be saving a tremendous amount of money, getting better services, getting access to all that extra holistic service care. And if they get the ClearShare, they're getting like the $0 telemedicine, the care coordination, like all those things. But for practitioners, she's going to get the consistent PV from the health share, And then the consistent PV from them ordering their Young Living stuff, because who's not gonna order $50 to $75 worth of product if they're gonna get it basically for free, right? And so she was like, oh, I never thought about that. And then I said, also, like when you're paying health insurance, you're paying and paying and paying into a system that hopefully you never use. And even if you use it, you're not guaranteed that it's going to pay back, right? Like we were dumb thinking we were good, paying $2,300 a month. For like 20 something years, we were paying that. Like, how much money could we have saved? Right? That's crazy. And now we're paying $940 a month. And we're getting like on average $500 to $600 back per month in reimbursement. So today or last night, I researched, I found a chiropractor who has a massage therapist. I just scheduled a bunch of sessions with her. I'm scheduling acupuncture with this acupuncturist that I'm talking to. I scheduled a thermography. Like I'm doing it all. Like I'm gonna get my money's worth of my $940 that I'm paying. And like they might be paying me back more than $940 for some months, you know, that I'm doing lots of these services and getting money back. But they're willing to invest in us, in our health and wellness now to prevent us getting sick and having chronic disease later versus collecting all the money like traditional health insurances do and paying their corporate staff and the doctors and not paying out to the members, right? So so she actually at the end of it, she's like, it's a lot to process, but I think this sounds really cool. And the funny thing is, the main acupuncturist that I had that first call with, she had mentioned it to her partner. And then her partner was like, I don't think anybody's going to want to do this. But then she had 2 patients that day. And those 2 patients were like, yes, I want to sign up. Like, that sounds fantastic. So, so yeah, I think any, you know, holistic practitioner around you, chiropractor, acupuncturist, naturopath, all the IV drip places, right? There's so many IV drip places, at least here, there's like one around every corner. But like, you don't even have to, if you don't have any of those services near you, like just look it up, Google, like places, you know, IV drip centers in whatever state, right? And then send an edited version of that script that I shared in the group that is more focused on IV. Buddy, my dog is barking.
I just have a statement. As I understand it, this is the share plans or whatever plan shares is good for people under 65. Does that sound right?
Well, if you are 65 or older, you're eligible for the holistic plan. So you can still sign up for the holistic plan. It's only 65 and under who aren't on Medicare that can get the health share part of it.
Okay.
But the holistic plan is available to anyone. So even if you have traditional health insurance and you're getting okay, so even if you have a traditional health insurance plan, or maybe your employer pays for it, someone's employer pays for it and they get it for free, they can sign up just for the holistic plan. And so the thing with like California with not accepting health shares as legit health insurance, like, okay, go find people that just want the holistic plan. That does not need to have the requirement of health insurance. Like anybody can add that on or have it with Covered California or whatever. So, so yeah, the holistic plan is available to anyone 65 and over, or it can be an add-on to traditional health insurance.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting. I know my insurance is incredible. I'm way over 65.
Mhm.
And I just moved to a new state and have new insurance, and I've never seen anything as good as this. So
Wow. What
and
state are you in, Diane?
I'm in Utah at the moment. I've been in a lot of different states, and I came from Idaho just recently.
Great. Yeah, so if you have great insurance, then, you know, maybe these plans are not gonna meet everybody's needs.
Right, but
Not
they
gonna-
but right, but
Yeah,
that right,
and you don't have to be on a plan in order to be able to share about them and
right,
hear their
right,
questions.
right.
So that's also a bonus. So yeah, I had that call today with those two acupuncturists, and they're ready to like sit down with the practitioners in their practice, and you know, I'll be there to talk through the whole thing. Um, and then I just like randomly started sending emails to different chiropractors, just Googling things, and I had a call with somebody in Missouri. So you never know, right? Like it just opens up a whole nother way of building the business. And like, is it weird to sell health plans? Yeah. But again, it's also weird to sell Young Living products. But the benefit of the products I know can be life changing. And the benefit of saving massive amounts of money and getting people access to better health care, especially holistic health care, overrides the weirdness for me, you know? So, all right. Any other questions? Hi, Rosie. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. This is just kind of like a basic open Q&A, so feel free to just ask whatever.
Well, and I would also like to add, thank you, Carol and Jessica, for encouraging me to make a phone call, a bit personal call with them. Because I was told that in my quote, because I have a pre-existing back condition, that I was not qualified to get the health share portion. But upon the call, I found out that I actually was, because, sorry, my husband's on a phone call, because it won't cover my back condition for the first year. But after that, it will, and it goes up every year on how much they will cover. So I would just tell you, if somebody has a pre-existing condition, have them get on a phone call and get on with them, or help them to get on a call, because I'm sure that they can qualify still.
Yeah, yeah. I do love that. Even if you do have a pre-existing condition, they have like a 5-year kind of tiered down limitation kind of thing. Like the first year, if you've had any kind of hospitalization or treatment within like the last year before you sign up, then like that specific thing will not be a shareable thing. But everything else new that happens to you could be and will be part of the shareable needs of the health share. And then over the years, over the 5 years, like Denise was saying, if you aren't having to have treatment or hospitalization for that pre-existing condition, then you get more and more coverage over the years. And then after 5 years of like no medical treatment or hospitals, 4 years, no medical treatment or hospitalization, then you have, it's basically seen as like a new medical situation. So that's a benefit, huge benefit. Rosie, what's your question?
Yeah, I have a Cover California.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think I can flip off for this one and leave Cover California, or can I get together? How that work?
So Cover California, like how much are you paying? Is it free?
No, it's I paying 175
Okay, a month.
every month plus my son. Well, now he is 18. And he is paying, he is by under me, but he's paying $20 a month.
Oh, okay. So you could switch over to the health share plus the holistic plan for you and your son. The one caveat is in California, California does not recognize health shares as a legitimate health insurance plan. So there's a fine that you would end up paying. It's 900 per adult and 400 per child. So because your son's 18, I guess he would count as an adult. So it would be $1,800 that you would pay for the fine. So you kind of have to do the math to see, like, is it worthwhile for you to not be on Covered California and switch to just the ClearShare or the ClearShare plus the holistic plan for you and your son? You would be paying more, but your services, you'd have more access to those holistic services. You'd get the $0 telemedicine for the ClearShare. There's the care coordination program. So if you have a planned medical need, you can contact the care coordination team and submit a request. And after 21 days, they'll give you a preferred provider. And if you use that preferred provider, the care would be free. And that is before you have to pay any kind of annual max / like deductible that they have. So you might want to set up an appointment. They're free. They're 30 minutes, just like Denise did, to talk to one of the consultants to kind of talk out like what kind of services do I have now? What access to services do I have now to compare with what access to services I would have if I switched? And I'm pretty sure you would have way better services and much more access to the kinds of services that you would want to utilize, right? I know a friend of mine is on Covered California, and she said that the closest doctor that is available to her, she lives in Carlsbad, is in Fallbrook. And so she's like, I'm never going to go to Fallbrook. That's like 45 an hour away. Like, you know, if I need to go see a doctor, I'm just going to show up at urgent care and deal with the bill of that. But that's expensive, right? So like this plan it probably will cost you more out of pocket, but it will give you more services. And then depending on who you use for your accountant, you could write the whole thing off. You could write off this whole health plan because this is a business expense. You're using it and experiencing it to be able to market it, right? You're using and going to see the holistic practitioners and ordering your Young Living products so that you can experience, yes, I get my reimbursement, and be able to share that. You'll have an app and that has access to all the telemedicine and all the things. And so just by showing people like, look, I have an app that I can, you know, call and get a telemedicine doctor on my phone within, you know, 20 minutes, like all those things are business related. So if your accountant is more open to being creative about things, you could totally write off your health plan because you're using it as a business tool.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments, issues?
You're very good at what you do.
Oh, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, the write-off thing is a huge thing. Not every accountant is going to be cool with that, but accountants who are familiar with entrepreneurs and people that are working for themselves, especially because you're using it as a business tool, right? You're using it, you're experiencing it, you're going to have your own testimonials that you can share. So definitely look into that. So, alrighty. Well, if nobody has any other questions, Rosie, do you know where to go to get a consultation, to set up a consultation?
No.
Okay. I'll type it into the chat. So it's https://ylclearwaterhealth.com/schedule. So that's the website where you can go and watch any of the pre-recorded videos, webinars about the 3 different plans, the ClearShare, which is like the health, medical, emergency catastrophe plan, the holistic, and then the ClearShare plus the holistic plan. And you can also schedule a free 30-minute one-on-one with one of the consultations. And you can schedule as many of those 30-minute free sessions as you need.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, great seeing you all. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank
Carol.
you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.